Welcome. We know a lot of people out there have questions, especially when it comes to your transcripts. That's why I'm happy to say that I'm joined now with Wyandotte counselor, Ms. Hamill, who is nice enough to join us and kind of walk us through exactly what a transcript means to everyone out there.
So if you look at our example, of course, your name and your identifying information is typically on a transcript, as well as then the most important parts for a college, a scholarship, an employer would be probably in the upper boxes here, the GPA Summary. This is commonly used for a lot of different reasons. Employers, scholarships, even jobs years after graduation call and they want to know someone's high school GPA. And so if you look there in that area, there are two GPAs that are reported. One is weighted and then one is unweighted. And a lot of students, they would be the same number, but if you've taken college classes or honors weighted classes, IB or AP courses, then that would show a difference in the calculation of the GPA. So that section is very important to monitor as a student and a parent.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're talking about the weighted and unweighted. Which one is more important, or is there one that's more important than the other?
A lot of scholarships want you to report a GPA, and it gives you the choice as to whether you want to do the weighted and unweighted. In all cases, if you have a difference in those two, the weighted GPA will be your higher of the two GPAs because you've taken challenging courses that offered you a benefit of getting an additional GPA point. So the weighted GPA is what you should report. And what is most commonly reported by your counselor, if they give us a choice between the two, we will always choose weighted. You'll see right under the GPA summary is an attendance summary section. And since we just began tracking the attendance on the transcripts this year, there is on everyone's transcript just the first line or first session of the 1920 school year. And of course, you can see what school you attended. If you attended or moved schools this year, there would be two lines there, as well as the total number of school days, the days that you've been present and the days you've been absent, including tardies. And so this is more and more common that employers especially, and very competitive scholarships want to know what your attendance was like during your certain years of high school. You also have your enrollment summary, which should list all high schools that you've attended in our school district. They'll show up there. And then it gets to actually the breakdown of beginning with your first term of high school, 9th grade, first classes that you take, and the grades that you've earned for your final grades are listed here in the bottom of that first column and then continuing on into the second column. There will still be something in the weighted column, even if you weren't successful in a class and received an F, but the credit column will have a 0 there on any F. But otherwise, it should have a credit value or listed. Then after each term, there is kind of a summary of how many credits you earned, what your GPA was that term, and then additionally in that little line, that U/W means the unweighted GPA. So again, they're listing the GPA as the weighted and then unweighted GPA there as well. Another important part is the totals, basically the credit summary at the end. How many credits that you've taken in high school or attempted, and then how many that you've earned. And you can see the breakdown of how many in each category. So most students know that you need 4 English credits, or 4.5 if you include the speech credit in English. And so this student, it shows she's taken 2.5 English courses and she's passed or earned 2.5 credits in English.
Knowing that this student is a sophomore, correct?
Yes.
This 11.5, is this pretty much on track for graduation?
This student has never failed a course, so she's on track. And remember, this is only halfway through her sophomore year, so she will be getting her credits for this end of the second half of the sophomore year. You definitely want to stay in contact with your high school counselor and your family advocate, whoever's planning your pathway courses, but also keep in mind that in order to go up to the next grade level in our school district, you need to earn at least 6 credits every school year. So this student in the example has 11.5 credits. She needs 12 to be able to go on and move to junior next year, junior status. And remember, we're only halfway through at this point with her 10th grade year. So she's definitely on track and not behind. We don't have to worry about credit recovery at all.
We were also talking earlier that this transcript may look different than a transcript other people are looking at. So don't be alarmed, all right?
Absolutely. If you have transferred in from another school and we had to hand enter those credits, or the students that are older in age right now, the juniors or seniors, especially those 9th and 10th grade transcripts, were from a different system. So there definitely is some variance a little bit, but the major parts are all still there on a transcript.